Deep dream. Google engineers in 2015 tried to visualize what neural networks see and accidentally created the internet's favorite nightmare generator. Dog. Everywhere dogs. Buildings made of dog faces. Clouds full of dog eyes. Your grandmother's portrait reconstructed entirely from golden retriever parts. The pareidolia engine from hell. Alexander Mordvintsev and his team at Google weren't trying to make art. They were debugging, trying to understand how image recognition networks identified objects by forcing the network to enhance whatever patterns it detected. The algorithm looked at clouds and saw dogs, so it turned the clouds into dogs. Then it saw dogs in the dogs, so it enhanced those too. Recursive hallucination, until everything became a psychedelic horror show of eyes and fur and architectural dog faces melting into infinity. June 2015, Google released it publicly. The internet lost its mind. Reddit exploded. Tumblr went feral. Within weeks, the Gray Area Foundation in Cincinnati, Francisco hosted Inceptionism, a gallery exhibition of AI-generated nightmares. People paid money to stare at algorithmically corrupted landscapes that looked like what you'd see if you took ayahuasca and really loved dogs. Here's the thing nobody understood. Deep Dream wasn't creating anything. It was corrupting existing images by over-interpreting patterns that weren't really there. Feed it a photo of clouds. It hallucinates dogs. Feed it a photo of dogs. It hallucinates nightmare demon dogs. It couldn't generate an image from scratch. It could only twist reality into something unrecognizable. The technical setup was brutal. Cafe framework, GPU access, command line operations, hours of processing for a single image. This wasn't a tool. It was a research experiment that escaped the lab and became a meme. But Deep Dream taught us something uncomfortable. Neural networks don't see reality the way we do. They see patterns, statistics, probability distribution. And when you ask them to show you what they see, you get nightmares. Real image generation meant creating something from nothing. That required understanding what things actually are. Or so we thought, until a drunk genius at a Montreal bar proved everyone wrong. GANs. Ian Goodfellow invented them during an argument at a bar in Montreal in 2014. And by 2019, they were generating faces so realistic that this person doesn't exist became an existential statement, not a technical one. April 2014. Goodfellow's arguing with friends at Brewhouse Bar about generative models. They said his approach wouldn't work. Two neural networks fighting each other, one generating fakes, one detecting them, both improving through combat. His friends called it impossible. He went home drunk at 1 a.m. and coded the first version that night. It worked. Published the paper. Jan LeCun called it the most interesting idea in machine learning in the last 10 years. Fast forward to December 2018. StyleGAN. NVIDIA takes Goodfellow's bar napkin idea and achieves photorealism. Researcher Taro Karras and his team trained it on celebrity faces. The outputs looked human, not uncanny valley human. Actually human. Someone launched thispersondoesnotexist.com. Refresh the page. New face. None of these people ever existed. Not stock photos. Not models. Not anyone. Mathematical constructions that look like they have memories and mortgages and favorite TV shows. The internet collectively had an existential crisis. If these faces don't exist, how do we know any face online is real? Trust started breaking. December 2019. StyleGAN 2. NVIDIA removed the artifacts. The little tells that screamed AI generated. The weird background patterns. The occasional melted ear. Now you genuinely couldn't tell. Deepfakes immediately weaponized this. Revenge porn using celebrity faces. Political propaganda using politician faces. The capability to generate any face meant the capability to impersonate anyone. But GANs had a fatal flaw: randomness. Ask for astronaut riding horse. You got whatever the generator felt like making. Random faces, random poses, random everything. Useful for data sets, useless for creativity. What if you could describe exactly what you wanted and AI would generate it? For that, AI needed to understand language. And that's when OpenAI changed everything while simultaneously trying to prevent everyone from using it. DALL-E January 2021. OpenAI announced an AI that could generate images from text descriptions and immediately locked it behind a waitlist because they knew exactly what would happen if everyone had access. Named after Salvador Dali and WALL-E because someone at OpenAI thought they were clever. The demo images broke the internet. An armchair in the shape of an avocado, a snail made of harp, a storefront that has the word OpenAI written on it. Absurdist prompts that somehow worked. Type words, get images. The holy shit moment wasn't the quality. Outputs were blurry, low resolution, often bizarre. The holy shit moment was that it worked at all. 12 billion parameters trained on text-image pairs scraped from the internet. Built on Clip, their vision language model that learned connections between 400 million images and captions. DALL-E proved AI could understand avocado and armchair and in the shape of and combine them into something coherent. The catch? Waitlist only. Limited access. Corporate control. OpenAI playing gatekeeper, while the entire creative industry demanded access. The scarcity created mystique. People who got in tweeted their outputs like lottery winners showing off tickets. April 2022. DALL-E 2. Complete overhaul in 15 months. Same concept. Entirely rebuilt. 3.5 billion parameters. Smaller, but exponentially smarter. The outputs went from blurry concept art to photorealistic imagery that looked like professional photography. The astronaut riding a horse became the test image. Heard round the world. Generated in photorealistic style, impressionist style, cyberpunk style, pencil sketch style. The same prompt. Infinite variations. InPainting let you edit images with text prompts. Variations generated alternatives of the same concept. The capability had fully arrived. Still waitlisted. OpenAI spent months carefully curating who got access, convinced they could control the rollout like some benevolent AI gatekeeper. Meanwhile, 2 other projects were building something OpenAI couldn't control. Tools that would run on your gaming PC with zero corporate oversight. The summer of 2022 was about to burn the gates down. Midjourney, July 2022. David Holtz's indie research lab launched via Discord and killed the waitlist era forever. Midjourney ran through a Discord bot. Type/imagine. Write your prompt. Wait 90 seconds. No application, no approval process, just $10 a month. The aesthetic was immediately recognizable. Everything looked like it. Belonged in a fantasy art collection. Dramatic lighting, painterly textures, cinematic composition. Version 3 launched with the service. Version 4 dropped in November and brought photorealism with artistic flair. Concept artists adopted it immediately. Art directors used it for mood boards. And the art community declared war. Because in August 2020, Jason Allen submitted Teatro do Paraespacial to the Colorado State Fair Fine Arts Competition, generated entirely in Midjourney, with 80 iterations of prompt refinement. He won first place in the digital arts category. He was transparent about using AI. Artists were furious anyway. The debate exploded. Is prompt engineering art? Does the tool matter? Can you win an art competition with AI? Nobody had answers. Because 1 week after Midjourney launched, the real chaos began. Stable Diffusion, August 2022. Stability AI released it completely open source, and Pandora's box exploded open. CompVis researchers at Ludwig Maximilian University plus Stability AI startup funding created something OpenAI feared: AI image generation with zero corporate control. The model was free, ran on consumer GPUs, no content filters, no waitlists, no gatekeepers. Download it, run it locally, generate whatever you want within days. Celebrity deepfakes, political propaganda, NSFW content at industrial scale, art style, theft automated. ArtStation flooded with AI-generated portfolio pieces. Professional artists organized protests. No AI art tags appeared on thousands of profiles. Getty Images filed a lawsuit in September claiming copyright infringement on millions of images. GitHub filled with custom implementations, fine-tuned models, LoRa training guides. The genie didn't just leave the bottle shattered, and the genie learned to replicate itself infinitely. The summer of 2022 ended the debate about whether AI could make art. It started a war about whether it should. Adobe Firefly, March 2023. Adobe's answer to the copyright apocalypse was simple. Train AI only on images that wouldn't get you sued. While everyone else scraped the internet without permission, Adobe built Firefly exclusively on Adobe stock images, openly licensed content, and public domain material. The "don't sue us" model. Commercially safe, ethically defensible, legally boring. Not as capable as Stable Diffusion for pure generation, not as aesthetic as Midjourney, but it had something competitors couldn't offer. Legal departments actually approved it. Integrated directly into Photoshop and Illustrator. Generative fill became the killer feature. Select an area, describe what you want. AI fills it seamlessly into existing photos. Remove objects, extend background, add elements that match lighting and perspective perfectly. Professionals adopted it not because it was best, but because their clients' lawyers allowed it. The corporate sanitization of AI art behind a subscription paywall. Adobe positioned itself as the responsible adult while everyone else played in the legal zone. Capability sacrifice for commercial viability. Creativity constrained by licensing agreements. But Firefly still had AI's most embarrassing problem. It couldn't spell. None of them could. Ideogram. August 2024. A Y Combinator startup made text rendering their entire value proposition, and somehow that was enough. Every previous model turned text into alphabet soup. Want a sign that says coffee shop? Stable Diffusion gave you cough 3e shup. Midjourney gave you Kifi Shap. DALL-E 3 could barely manage 3 letters correctly. Text was AI's kryptonite. The one thing humans could still do better. Ideogram solved it. Type open on a storefront sign. Get open, not OP3N. Readable text in images. Memes with actual words. Posters with legible headlines. Advertisements where the product name was spelled correctly. The feature nobody prioritized became a business model. The market had fragmented completely. Commercial safety, artistic style, text accuracy, different tools for different jobs. General purpose wasn't enough anymore. Specialists won niches. AI image generation was maturing, stabilizing, becoming normal. Except nothing about what came next was normal. Because the next evolution wasn't better images. It was video. 60-second films generated from text. And somehow, that changes absolutely everything. Sora. February 2024. OpenAI announced text-to-video generation and broke everyone's sense of what's real. Up to 60 seconds of video. Consistent characters across the entire duration. Accurate physics. Camera movements. Multiple shots with coherent scene transitions. The demo videos looked impossible. Woolly mammoth walking through snowy Arctic terrain. Fur moving correctly in wind. Tokyo street scenes with pedestrians. Flexions. Depth of field. A woman walking through a neon-lit city. Her face and clothing persistent across 30 seconds of footage. The internet immediately questioned if the demos were fake. It looked that good. Frame-by-frame consistency that previous video models couldn't achieve. Characters that didn't morph, glitch. Physics that obeyed actual laws instead of dream logic. OpenAI immediately waitlisted it. Limited access. Invite only. Corporate gatekeeping. Part 3. As of early 2025, still not publicly available. Most hyped vaporware in AI history. The capability exists. Professionals with access are using it quietly. Hollywood studios testing it internally, publicly debating AI ethics at conferences. Videos leak occasionally. Proof that temporal coherence is solved. Not just one photorealistic frame, 60 seconds of consistent reality. The implications land differently than images. Deepfake photos broke trust in photography. Deepfake videos will break trust in video evidence. Propaganda at industrial scale. Political misinformation as 60-second films. Fix or it didn't happen, extending to video or it didn't happen, except video won't prove anything either. We went from Deep Dream's nightmare dogs, Sora's 60-second films in 9 years. From corrupted patterns to generated realities in less than a decade. Deep Dream couldn't create, only hallucinate. Sora creates worlds that never existed. We're treating this like it's just another tech feature. Like generating any reality you can describe is normal now. It's either the greatest creative tool humanity ever built, the end of visual truth. Honestly, we're about to find out which one in real time. Because the models are faster, cheaper, more capable every quarter. Nobody's hitting the brakes.